An Arizona mom of 5 sounding off at a Litchfield Elementary School District Board meeting over a proposed equity plan that questioned whether being not racist is actually just a mask for being racist. Watch this.
My kids are a minority group. I am Hispanic. Never once have they come home and said that they felt victimized or discriminated against because of their race or ethnicity. Never once. Do you want to know why? Because my children are taught at home the value of people, that you treat people the way that their character and integrity defines them in your view.
One board member agrees these pushed narratives are robbing kids of the things they should be focusing on in their education. Watch this.
Math, reading, and history is the same for everyone, regardless of their skin color. It seems to me that we need to really put our curriculum back to what's important: reading, math, logical thinking, true history, not opinionated. And these are the things that our precious kids need to succeed in the world.
So these topics are being talked about all across the country. You can find them in any school system around the country, and these individuals are speaking out. Here now exclusively Renee Card, mom of 5, and Jeremy Hoenack, the school board member who is opposing this new equity plan. Jeremy, let me start with you because we reached out. This superintendent, Jody Gunning, says, I want to stress unequivocally that we are not adopting critical race theory or the 1619 Project. She says they have no diversity, equity, and inclusion curriculum that is mandatory in their schools. So what's going on?
Well, hi, Martha. Thank you for having me on, and I'm speaking for myself, not the board.
Understood.
But to jump right down to that, they claim there's no change to the curriculum, but this transformational equity work manual that they have been hiding clearly says that teachers have the power to adapt, modify, or enhance any curriculum and push, so therefore they could push critical race theory or even worse. They also claim there are no discipline quotas, but then state schools will reduce the number of suspensions for black students to 15%. You know, they send out letters saying, don't believe your lying eyes, believe us. But they still today are hiding this transformational equity manual, even though it's posted on websites.
So, I just want to get Renee in here for a second. Renee, what bothered you? What made you start speaking out when you saw what your kids were learning? What were you upset about?
You know, I was upset about multiple things, primarily the emphasis on disciplining by race and having measurable goals. I'm using their words, measurable goals to decrease discipline for specifically black students. That bothered me. Also, another thing that really stuck out was that they want to measure goals for academic success of black and Hispanic students. There is no talk about all students, all races, all genders. It's very specific. And so those are two of the things that really stood out. The last thing that was really critical to me was that they are going to attempt to not only change the curriculum, because in their own language it speaks specifically to utilizing resources and reanalyzing the current curriculum and utilizing resources to purchase new curriculum that's going to fit their narrative. Also hiring by race, hiring diversity goals by gender identification, sexual orientation. Those are all things that, to me, should not be.
Yeah, you would think that the goal of the school is to educate all of the children to the greatest of their abilities, Jeremy, and not to pick and choose children who should be treated differently, whether it comes to discipline. Everyone should be treated exactly the same. If you break the rules, you should be suspended, correct? Regardless of your color.
Absolutely.
Correct.
And, you know, this was adopted before I was seated, but as a minority of one, I attempted to explain why teacher contracts needed explicit language to prevent teaching critical race theory. They illegally shut me up, claiming it was not on the agenda when it clearly was. Now, almost half the kids can't read or do math well in this district, but they keep calling it an A+ rated school district.
That's a travesty. I got to leave it there. Jeremy and Renee, thank you very much. A lot of people are beginning to speak out, and we appreciate you doing so here.